Hello everyone, welcome to SwitchUp as we once again have a look at some of the games coming out for the Switch in this upcoming week. In terms of dates, we'll be going from the 17th of February up until the 23rd, and we'll look at any games that may have crept out and not been in one of these videos for whatever reason, and then of course move on to the week at hand.
Yeah, so what are the games coming out and some that have already been out? Well, let's find out.
Let's start with a couple of games from the sponsor of today's video, a couple of their games that are on sale currently, and that's Hole.io and Paper.io 2. Hole.io sees you growing by eating everything in front of you, and doing so will get you large enough to consume even bigger objects or other players. You need to keep eating until nothing else stands in your way, and you can play this game with up to 4 players on 6 different maps. There are 13 different skins to use to customise your black hole, 2 multiplayer modes to play with 4 players on screen at once, and an endless mode where you swallow things that fall from the sky. Paper.io 2 sees you having to paint the map in your own colour, eliminating your opponents in the process and getting the highest score. You'll need to glide over the white space or your friend's territory and create connection back to your own colour to claim the area. If you do move outside of your colour though, your tail will be exposed to attack and you can be eliminated. This is available in 1 to 8 player offline, with a number of different maps and again 14 skins which you can use to change the look of your terrain. The current sale price for both games is the same, being £1.34, €1.49 or $1.99, but in US regions if you own any of the following games, being Robonaut, Mana Spark, Colouring Book which is actually available for free, Real Boxing 2, Pocket Mini Golf or Om Run, you can get these games for 49 cents each. Check out the publisher's website cubicgames.com/sale for further information, and once again a thank you to them for sponsoring this episode.
So one that's already out then, we have Cannibal Abduction. This released a couple of weeks ago now, and tells the story of a man named Henry trying to escape from the house of a cannibalistic family after being kidnapped. The blurb goes on to say that you'll experience the horror of being chased by a serial killer in his own house, staying in the shadows and hiding inside wardrobes, classic stealth tactics in a first-person horror game, and there are some soft puzzle elements too. It goes on to say there are 2 endings to find. I'm sure one of those is going to be particularly gruesome, and it is on sale for £10.79 or your regional equivalent.
Awesome, right, onto the games that are coming out. We've got Tenderfoot Tactics, which is due to release on February the 21st. This one says it's a tactical RPG that's been inspired by the classics, a token line that I've read in so many of these blurbs.
Yeah, you're not wrong. Interestingly,
it has an open world, so your battles will be taking place as almost separate instances within that world. And the storyline goes that for a generation, the terrible fog, one vast, voiceless and cruel spirit, has been eating the once thick forests. There you go. It's like the miasma in another game that I've played.
Yeah. This one, as you said, releases on the 21st. It will sell for £12.79 or again your regional equivalent. We then have a game called Quadroids, which explains itself as a mind-twisting puzzle platformer that lets you control 4 screens at once. There are more than 100 levels, with you having to avoid acid baths, lasers, deadly spikes and other traps, and you use just 4 buttons as you play, 1 for each part of the screen. It has 1 to 4 player local play, and definitely sounds like an interesting concept. With games like this, I just find whether it can pull it all together, you know?
Yeah, that one's £10.79 as Glen said, and it releases on the 21st.
To the top of the leaderboard and compete for a chance to become Employee of the Month. Ain't no walk in the park, but we're sure you have the skills to make it.
Quadroids operators may face severe damage to their near.
Now, probably my highlight of the week for next week is a game called Bandle Tale, a League of Legends story, and it comes from the same team, Lazy Bear, that bought us Graveyard Keeper. Now, this is looking very good indeed. Yeah, it says that it's a crafting RPG that's set within the magical world of Bandle City, home of the furry and fun-loving Yordies.
Okay, I'm assuming this is, if you're a League of Legends fan, you'll know exactly what this means. Me not being one, I don't know so much, I must say. But these sort of crafting RPGs, or almost like life sims, aren't they, to an extent, are certainly charming. And this has a lovely art style, doesn't it?
Yeah, it looks cracking. So hopefully we'll bring you some form of review or preview of that one. It releases on February the 21st, and it's £19.99 or your regional equivalent.
Then we have a relatively cheaper, cheerful one called Froggie, a retro platformer. Now this has that kind of ZX Spectrum style, or that black and white style. Very primitive graphics, but I do think this works in platformers such as these. By the looks of it, it's one of those platformers where it's very much about precision, you know, running, hopping, sliding along, jumping up walls, that sort of thing. And actually, having watched the trailer, it does look a lot of fun. I do like the look of this one.
Yeah, that one's from East Asia Soft, as Glenn said, $4.49, not bad at all. And another one that releases on the 21st. Next up, we've got 502's Arcade. This is, just from the sound of it, quite an interesting one, but oh my goodness, from the screenshots it looks very unusual, like a mishmash of a few different genres.
Yeah, it calls itself an anthology of fast-paced arcade games. Your only goal is to reach the top of the leaderboard, so very much arcade-centric in that respect. And it does go on to say that the games go from a dungeon crawler set in a procedural generated temple to a cute but challenging puzzle where you have to prepare the orders of a very hectic potion shop.
Lovely, yeah, that one is about £8 or £9, and it's due to release on the 22nd. Alright, good luck pronouncing this one. I think it's Yohane the Parhelion.
It's close enough.
Numazu in the Mirage.
There we go. This is a deck building roguelite where you play with magic cards.
I'm glad they're magic.
Yeah, if they were normal cards, it'd be such a letdown, wouldn't it? Just pulls the deck out. It's like, yeah, I bought these from the pound shop, mate. It goes on to say that this is deck building and card battles in Ura Numazu, where magic can be used.
And it looks like it has that thing where you choose the path through like an overview map. We've seen it in a few roguelites, and it kind of has that risk and reward depending on which option you choose.
Yeah, it says there are more than 100 types of cards, and obviously you can customise your deck as you see fit, and you can summon friends with summon cards, which will obviously then help you in battle.
That one's launching for £24.99, which is doesn't sound too bad depending on how good it is, and it launches on February the 22nd.
It does indeed. There's also a demo available if you want to give that a try first. We then have Apex Heroines, which calls itself a 3D hack and slash and 3D beat 'em up, so there you go, two for the price of one. And it makes a big point of mentioning that it is in HD and has 60 frames per second in its gameplay.
Yeah, I think that is actually quite a selling point these days on Switch. When that was in Tomb Raider, I was quite surprised. It looks like it's very fast paced with no cooldowns, nothing like that. It's just constant battling. There are 6 different playable characters in here, each obviously with their own different traits and combat styles, and 5 different types of weapons as well. This actually does look quite nice. I wonder how this one plays, and does it have multiplayer? The answer, unfortunately, is not.
Yeah, that's a shame, and 5 weapon types seems a little small, to be honest. A few more wouldn't have gone amiss there. But it does look good from the screenshots for sure. This one is out on the 22nd, and it will cost £20.49, or again your regional equivalent. The penultimate game for the week then is Inkulinati. This is a strategy game.
With one of the most difficult names I've ever seen to pronounce.
That's very true. And it's based itself around medieval manuscripts in terms of its art style.
Well, that's an interesting idea for sure. They actually took inspiration from real life medieval marginalia, 700 years in the making apparently. It's the first time I've ever said that word.
There we go. And it looks as if you'll battle one another on those manuscript pages. It says that you'll fight by drawing beasts with the living ink, and thanks to the magical substance you are using, these creatures then come to life. Again, just a nice twist on what could otherwise have been a potentially quite standard game, you know?
Yeah, it definitely looks like one of those that's going to, you know, potentially have a real little niche following there. It's got a single player campaign in there as well. You can upgrade and develop your own character. Yeah, interesting this. Really unusual style, isn't it?
Yeah, and it also has that, when the characters are being drawn, it looks like a real life hand is drawing them. That kind of Monty Python feel almost, you know? £21.59, although there is 20% available off of that price, up until launch day, which is the 22nd.
Than the sword, you know. Defeat other masters of ink and become a living legend.
Last but not least, in fact probably the second most interesting looking game I'd say for next week, is a lovely looking title called Promenade, or Promenade, how would you say that?
I think it's one of those, how the mood takes you.
Yeah, okay.
I think it's interchangeable.
I'm in a promenade.
Yeah,
the mood.
I'd go promenade, but there you go. Whatever.
You are the posh one out of us.
Yeah, if you like. So this is a 2D platformer where the Great Elevator has broken and the cogs have been scattered about all across the land.
Yeah, there's puzzle platforming in here as well as you hop, skip and jump your way across the promenade. And it does look nice, doesn't it? It's got a pastel art style. Hopefully, if the trailer's anything to go by, this might actually be one to keep your eye on.
Yeah, it looks like quite a relaxing platformer. Whether it plays like that, I don't know, but that's certainly the vibe I'm getting from the trailer. And it's another one with a demo, which is also good. This is out on the 23rd, and it will cost £22.49. So there we have it. There are the games releasing on the Switch this week. Do any of those games interest you at all? Will you be picking any of them up? Please do let us know in the comment section below.
Yeah, thanks so much. As we always say, do save yourself some money on physical or digital. All the links to that is down in the description. And we also have some links for saving money on those Nixie Joy-Con. They're actually pretty decent.
A quick thank you to our patrons and our channel members for your continued support, and to each and every one of you for watching our videos. Take care, and until next time, happy gaming.